Good morning, guys. This is gonna be the last video I make for about 3 or 4 days. I got a problem with my computer, and I'm gonna take it in, be a little, I guess, proactive to get some work done on it, and it's gonna take about 3 days. So anyway, this will probably be the last video I do unless I decide to do one on my phone. The picture you see there is Barack Obama, and what has happened to Democrats in the various seats of Congress, governorships, and state legislatures. The Democrats have lost 11 seats in the Senate since he was elected, to 60 seats in the House, 14 governorships, and 900 state legislatures. Why is that? Well, to be very simple, the DNC has been ineffective, and the chairman of the DNC basically has been a joke. A joke. Now, we need to know exactly who has been responsible for the lack of leadership among the DNC. And to be honest with you, President Obama has to take full responsibility for what's gone down with the DNC. Now, when he came in, he had Howard Dean. And you got to give a lot of credit to Howard Dean, in all honesty. When Howard Dean took over as chairman of the DNC, there was a Republican president, a Republican House, a Republican Senate, and a bunch of Republicans in the various governorships and state legislative houses. Howard Dean is right. When he left, the Democratic Party had the presidency, it had control of the Senate, it had control of the House, it had maybe not the majority of the governorships, but it was pretty much 50-50, as well as the state legislatures. President Obama came in, and the first thing he did was he appointed, another joke, Tim Kaine. Tim Kaine served as the DNC chairman from 2009 through 2011. Well, if you don't know, and you should, the 2010 election, which were midterm elections, they were a disaster for the Democratic Party. It was so bad that Tim Kaine resigned, got fired, whichever way you want to put it. He did such a terrible job. You may say to yourself, well, why did Hillary Clinton pick this guy if he was inept, okay, at running the DNC to be a heartbeat away from the presidency? You know, that is a valid question, and I damn sure don't have a valid answer. Anyway, Donna Brazile took over for Tim Kaine in an interim basis, and she served for a short period of time. And then President Obama picked Hillary Clinton fan favorite, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Now, Debbie Wasserman Schultz is totally inept. Under Debbie Wasserman Schultz, we lost the Senate. We gave up more seats in any election. Okay, and I'm talking about 2014. Actually, 2012, 2014. I forget which year it was, and I think it was actually 2012. We gave up, again, majority control in the Senate. We gave up a ton. I think we lost like 40 some odd seats in the House. Now, I could be wrong, and that could be 2014. But the House flipped over so bad that there was no hope of getting anything done. We have consistently lost the governorship positions under Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Why the hell did he pick Debbie Wasserman Schultz, number one? Number two, when she got her ass kicked in 2012 and 2014, why didn't he fire her ass? It took an avalanche, and I do mean an avalanche, of evidence that she was rigging the election for Clinton in order to get her out. President Obama was totally ineffective and basically just blind when it came to Debbie Wasserman Schultz and her inability, her ineptitude. Hell, it was criminal what she did as far as her leadership of the DNC. Now, I will reference that with what happened with the RNC. Over the period of time, the GOP was getting its butt kicked. Okay, so what happens? In, I believe it was 2008, they brought in Michael Steele because they didn't like what was going on. 2010, okay, Michael Steele basically has restructured, we call it restructured, given a different direction to the RNC. Under his leadership, that's when the reversal of the number of people in the Senate and the House and the governorships began. Now, Michael Steele, he had some issues. He changed up a bunch of things, a bunch of ways that the RNC operated. And the rumor is that he had spent a lot of money. Okay, and one thing the GOP doesn't like to do is spend money. So he got outed, okay, after 2010. After the successful, I guess you want to call it, increase in the House and in the Senate of Republican members. One thing that worked against them was the fact that the Tea Party came in and they were pushing like crazy, and the Tea Party people were beating the regular conservative Republican candidates in primaries. One thing Michael Steele didn't do was he didn't put his thumb on the scales, and when the regular, I guess, Republicans got beat, he went in full bore supporting the Tea Party guys against the Democrats. And they basically didn't like the direction he was going in, even though it was the right direction, and they kicked him to the curb, and that's how Rance Priebus got in here. So now we do definitely need a new person to run the RNC. Now, again, Obama has, he should bear 100% of the responsibility because he was the one that appointed the DNC chair. So he made two very bad choices. Tim Kaine, Donna Brazile has gotten a position twice on interim basis, but Debbie Wasserman Schultz. So if you really want to point a finger at someone, or actually two fingers, you could point fingers at Barack Obama for the condition of the Democratic Party and leadership, and specifically at Debbie Wasserman Schultz, because given her record here, this chick couldn't run a lemonade stand on a 100-degree day in the Sahara Desert.